These cops, they need to understand that we run the show. Some get it, like Roberts. But the rest think the more they lock us down and isolate us, it strips us of our power. They even think we close the books. We're a dying breed. They're dead fucking wrong. We're just real selective. Who we choose to call our brother. So the question is, are you ready?
Dealing with the notorious Aryan Brotherhood is blood in and blood out. Becoming a part of the ABs, everything that you used to put first becomes second to the organization. Even your own freedom. Thomas Terrible Tom Silverstein spent 35 years in solitary confinement for the ABs. Now some people will say he went to hell for them. At 19, he was sent to St. Quentin prison for armed robbery in 1975. Now imagine what's going through a 19-year-old head on a bus on the way to St. Quentin. He did a 4-year stretch, then he was paroled. When he was incarcerated, he met some interesting inmates. He would return to prison after he was charged in a different robbery and was sentenced to 15 years and was sent to Kansas. He would take everything he learned from St. Quentin into Kansas. He had ties with the ABs, and to become a member, he would have to commit a murder. Now, I'm not 100% sure that every member had to do it, but we're talking about this situation. It was an inmate that refused to smuggle heroin and allegedly owed the ABs, so the hit was called on. Silverstein was convicted for the hit, but it would be overturned due to an informant lying on the stand. He was sent to Illinois in the 80s, and the war between the ABs and DC Blacks was at a spark. He was accused of murdering one of the members of the DC Blacks. The leader of the DC Blacks sent him death threats, and the crazy thing is, the leader of the DC Blacks transferred to the prison after the incident happened. It's been alleged that the guards wanted them to continue to go to war. Silverstein would get a life sentence on top of the time he already had. Eventually would end up killing the leader of the DC Blacks, stabbing him 70 times and dragging him through the prison block to send a message. He would receive another life sentence on top of that. There was a CO that would allegedly harass Mr. Silverstein. When Silverstein wasn't killing, he would be chilling in the cell painting pictures. Officer Clutch would destroy his paintings. The paintings would take hours to do, so there's a little bit of an understanding. But I still don't believe in killing. Why would anyone harass a guy with murder on his resume? That's my question. Especially after he dragged a dead body around the block just to send a message. But he would end up stabbing the officer to death, and another CO would be killed the same way by another inmate that's a part of the ABs. So they were taking notes. The prison went on lockdown and he was transferred to Atlanta. When he arrived to Atlanta, his name was underlined twice, with the comment next to his name saying no human contact. He was allowed only 2 phone calls a month. He was locked up for 23 hours a day in a soundproof cell with the lights on for 24 hours a day. Believe it or not, that's an act of torture. The prison should get in a lot of trouble for that. Prisons all over the world practice different torture methods that's not physical to drive prisoners insane. For example, we have the white torture. They will put an inmate in an all-white, soundproof room with white clothes, serve you white food, and it could drive you crazy. May 11, 2019, he would die due to heart failure. This man was in a hole most of his life. I'm not just talking about prison life, I'm talking about his life. He would have been home, but he kept catching wreck and adding more time to his bid. He walked in prison with 15 years, dying with 2 life sentences. The white boys do their prison time better than anyone else, cause they don't care about freedom. If I got 2 years, I'm not bumping heads with none of them. Remember fellas, ain't no guns in jail. Do me a favor and like this video, leave a comment, hit the notification bell. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching.
I'll be on parole though.
The fuck's that got to do with anything?
well, 10 years.
You think the fucking honor of being one of us ends at the gates? It ends when you're 6 feet under. Until then, you will keep earning for your brothers.
I understand that. But
Before you say another fucking word, think of your family in this decision.
Excuse me.
Did I stutter?